Our youth unemployment rate is 28%. We will inherit over $2 trillion in debt. Half of our boys grow up fatherless. 16,000 young women first get pregnant before they reach 16. In 2015, one person was murdered every 7 hours. Jamaica, it's time for Talk Up so we can fix up and kick out these issues once and for all. You ready for Talk Up on Talk Up Radio? Let's go!
Radio show, the voice of the Jamaican youth, coming to you live on Nationwide 90 FM. We're coming to you from Mountain View for the third stop of our Talk Up Youth Community Outreach Project, powered by the Digicel Foundation with support from the NCB Foundation. This project will run for 6 months, and we will definitely tell you more about the other communities and partners as we go through today's show.
And guys, that voice you're hearing is the outgoing queen, the outgoing,
the outgone.
The outgone.
Big up Akira, go.
But she's always a queen in Ohio.
Yes.
But yes, as she said earlier, we are at our third stop, and we're at a famous, verily famous Ravers Corner.
Yes.
And we're out here, we're enjoying the cool breeze, and we're enjoying the almonds dropping on us, you know. But it's a beautiful morning, and we want to thank you again for listening. Of course, we always thank our sponsors. Separate and apart from the sponsors of the Talk Up Youth Community Outreach, we're thanking the Talk Up Radio Show sponsors, which would be the all right. And well, we like to thank Crown Water and National, as per usual, for always looking out for the Talk Up Youth team. So we are definitely thanking them, because now we're gonna have lots and lots of water and snacks today.
Cheesy volts and popcorn and bear things.
And of course, you know, the mayor himself, not the literal, but the Talk Up Radio mayor himself is out here stretching his arms. Because Tristan is here with us. You're listening to Angelica, of course, as you heard Dana earlier. Shakira is here as per usual, and Christina is chilling like a villain. Well, more like a community outreach, Ilan.
All right.
That worked. It worked. Or don't fight it. It worked. Just roll with it and just, yeah. But Mountain View, we are here and we are ready to talk to you. We're ready to hear everything. And as per usual, Talk Up Radio is always sticking to our mantra of making the youth talk up. We want to hear your issues. We want to hear the fun stuff. We want to hear the stories. We want to hear everything. We want to hear the games that you play. We want to hear all the awesome sauce stuff and all the wonderful. You know, hear the breeze. The breeze nice and clean. Cause down here nice and pure and so. But feel like mega moving. Then I have nowhere near house camera. Look at space.
We have a one room. All right. So yeah, I want to make everybody know. So you know, this is my second community. So I have to big up Nannyville, because my home for 5 years now. So I'm very excited that we're doing this right now inside this community, even though it's for Mountain View, but we're based on Nannyville right now.
Yes. And Nannyville is, as she's saying, a part
one of the 7 districts.
One of the 7 districts. 7 districts. And if you're trying to find us, why the direction is kind of very confusing, because them said the place named Eastern Douglas Avenue, right? But then when you put it on Google Map, it said cannot find this location.
But you can't miss it. If you know where National Stadium is coming down, then you turn whether left or right. Right. Right across on the Rifle Association, and you will find it.
Besides Sir Howard.
And besides Sir Howard.
Right. And if you call a cab, just tell them Ashe. When we say Ashe, them know where.
But you know, if you actually type in the Google Maps and say Blue Mountain Drive,
it shows it's accurate.
It shows it's accurate. So that means the place really named Blue Mountain Drive, but I'm try to rename it Eastern Douglas. Rest in peace, Sir Douglas. You know, I heard you passed recently.
Yes, he was a counselor.
And he was a counselor for the community. Yes, Dana is all things. Mountain View, you know, that's how we make sure we bring her, we wake her up out of her bed. She and Tristan know everybody down here, from the old to the young to the new and whatever. But like, Mr. People I walk past and I hear Tristan and I say,
he's worship.
Right.
He's a worship.
The former is worship.
As you talk about mayor, the councillor for the Vineyard Town Division is actually in the house to see Mr. Andrew Swaby. So we may want to be talking to him, so he has to stick around.
Right.
So we definitely...
So again, we thank you, as per usual, for always listening to the Talk Up Radio Show. We are coming to you live from Mountain View, Ravers Corner, to be specific, and it is the Talk Up Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth, and we'll be right back. Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie.
Talk Up Youth.
Welcome back to the Talk Up Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth, and we're coming to you live this morning from the Mountain View community. Cool Mountain View for the third third stop in our Talk Up Youth Community Outreach Program, and we're brought to you this morning by the Digicel Foundation with the support from the NCB Foundation. Also, we have to big up the National Baking Company for always keeping us hydrated and snacked up, as well as the Water and Cran Water for always cooling us down. Dana, I think we need to talk about the history of Mountain View.
Right.
Now.
So, you know, I'm sure that even people listening know, people in the community don't know some of the information that we're about to share. And we also have somebody special I want to talk to a little bit more about that. But guess what? I mean, no, Tristan never know. Mountain View was once, and I think it still is, the major corridor leading from the Norman Manley International Airport. And guess what? It used to be called, before it was called Mountain View, it was Long Mountain Road, because it runs parallel from Windward Road to the foot of Beverly Hills. And the Chinese were the first settlers of Long Mountain. So out of many one people, I don't know what take over. I don't know. Which was primarily a residential area back then. So all of the business places, you know, were situated around here, operated by the Chinese. So it was a mountain. And then guess what happened now? It's called the Mountain View Corridor. So a lot of things were happening there in the 1950s and 60s. Pottery was the main income earner, and there was a brick factory that was located at Jarrett Lane in the Long Mountain area, and the world-renowned potter Cecil Ball once resided in Long Mountain. So a lot of things happening in Mountain View. As a training ground for soldiers. That is how Butts Crescent got its name. I don't know if our guests right here know some of these things.
But we have to introduce our guest first.
The one and only.
The one and only. Tristan, I hear that you want to do it.
Of
do
course.
It. Introduce.
So I'm very proud to welcome to the Talk Up Youth tent and family the one and only Councillor Andrew Swaby,
one and only
minority leader for the People's National Party at the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation.
Hey.
Welcome, Councillor Swaby.
Thank you very much,
And there's a fun fact about Mr. Swaby. Should we share it?
Share it.
He's my uncle.
Really?
Right. So it's an extreme pleasure to have him with us this morning on Talk Up Radio. Welcome, sir.
Let me say, you spoke about the history. And both of us history are from Black River.
Yes.
So we are learning about Mountain View as we go by.
Nice.
It's nice to be here, Dana Lynn, and the team. Let me welcome you to Nannyville Gardens in particular. And I trust that you will enjoy your day.
Feel at home.
Right. So we know that you are rooted in St. Elizabeth a long time. You know, you're steeped in this community, steeped in relation to Vineyard Town Division.
Right.
You're very much familiar. So we want to even get involved in the community history. So even for you, how long were you a part of this community, living in this community?
Well, you know, most country guys and females, we tend to seek tertiary education in Kingston.
Right.
And in 1987, after leaving Monroe College, I came to Nannyville Gardens. So I've been here pretty much, actually to live in the same house that Dana Lynn used to live in. Nannyville Gardens. So I've been here pretty much for quite some time. I've moved out of the community, but I've always keep my roots. As you have indicated that I'm the councillor for this era, so I'm here on a pretty much regular basis.
If you could pick out one major difference with the community then and now, what would that difference be?
I'm happy to say, even though I would love for it to still reduce, but the level of violence that has reduced over the years.
Great.
I mean, there are times when persons used to be afraid of Nannyville Gardens in particular and Mountain View stretch, where the whole issue of political tribalism takes place. And that we have been seeing where the interaction with youths mainly. So we have achieved something, and that I'm happy for.
Great.
Now,
Impressive.
Speaking about youth, as a councillor for the division, you have had to come into contact with a lot of youth over a time period. What is one general piece of advice you would give to the youth in the Mountain View community now?
Stay in school. Get the best out of those formative years.
Right.
Because that form the basis of what you will become. That is the best advice I can give.
Stay in school. And if you could sum up for us what your vision for the community is, where would you like to see it in a couple of years, couple of months? What's your vision?
I would love to see the residents, in particular the youths. I come back from what I've just indicated, to see how they can be gainfully employed. For example, we are at the Ravers Corner, and Ding Dong and that team, they have excelled.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that everybody will become like Ding Dong. What it means that if you can carve out your own niche,
Right.
then we can get it. Could be somebody who will be set on the air for anything, because you're at a spot where many parties are held like on a weekly basis.
Yes.
And it creates an opportunity where you can have somebody who can do the decoration, somebody who have the sound system, and you have Bowie, and Bowie that provide that type of service. So I just want somebody can do the design of the clothes, because you know those persons normally, those persons who have fashion is a thing. So,
Right.
so it creates an opportunity, and that's what I would love to see.
And Tristan would have said that you had opportunities to come in contact with our youth. What are some of the major issues that they have living in the community?
There's the issue of unemployment. Let us not fool ourselves. There's the issue of unemployment. But one of my things I would love, and I put straight on the thing at, nothing just comes easily. And if I go back to my point about stay in school and have that basic education, it will help. There is the issue also where, well, as I indicated that the violence has cut down, but I would love to see more of the youth interact, not just only about party, but to build, to create that cohesiveness and that community spirit, to look at volunteerism, to how they can help their neighbor. Those are some of the issues I love to see.
Now, Councillor Swerve, for true political representation to work, we understand it's a partnership between the people of the community that you serve and yourself. Now, what are some of the things, or what type of support you need from the residents of your community?
They have been given a lot of residents, and I'll just give you some case in point. You have the Nannyville Youth Action Club. I think it's New York. They have been every last Saturday in May, they have a nanny bee competition where they're help the guys to spell.
Yeah,
and there's a big competition, and it speaks to the whole issue of family values, because when you go over there to the rivalry, and parents do go there and participate. They have to put on the Miss Mini Nannyville thing. I'm surprised that we haven't had one this year, because it should have been held somewhere just about now. And it's not a beauty contest thing, but it's still self-esteem development and those things. I would love to see also where the youth have a little more respect for our senior citizens.
Right.
Like understand that one day that they will be in that position. There are so many things, but as the time go by in the discussion, I'll come down.
Nice. Miss Peaches. Hi, good morning.
Mama Peaches.
Mama Peaches, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Nice. So how long have you been a part of this community?
From in the 70s,
From
from
in the
about 1979.
Wow, so you grew up here and everything, born and grow here?
No.
No?
From 1979, baby, you don't see how old I am.
No, but she said that you look good.
We don't see. You look
Platinum
very
here and
good.
all these things, right?
So what was it like living here in the past compared to now?
It's very good, you know. Nannyville is a very good community. A lot of people hear about Nannyville all the while. They're thinking, when they come here, they're thinking, because they hear about this garrison thing.
Yeah.
Nannyville is a zinc up fence place. But then when they come, they're saying, wow,
Right.
this is Nannyville.
Yeah.
This is really Nannyville we're hearing about. So Nannyville is really a good community.
Nice.
All right. So I know you see a lot of things, and you're there from where you say 1970s. So and I want you must you see people grow, you see the kids because like for me, I've been in here 5 years, and I'm literally watching some children growing up. So I want to ask you, do you think the children living here now have a better or worse experience? I know maybe you didn't grow up in the community as a child, but comparing your childhood experience, what you think now when you see how these kids growing up?
Well, comparing from then to now, you know, everything has changed, right? But there's nothing much, there's no really changes because, as I said, we don't really have a lot of teenage pregnancy, and we don't have raping and killing. Nannyville is very loved. You understand me? We love everyone around here.
Yes, I can tell. Can you tell me one thing that you're proud of on this community?
Well, really, it's a party place.
Their face
You can't see a hot girl, you know. Hey, don't underestimate Mama Peaches, right?
And I love the party.
You love
And
What? Say what you again last night?
What?
A liar, tell me in my bed.
So, you know, in the past we used to have like Gabba Sunday. I don't know if you used to hear about that. Then we had Day Rave.
Yes.
You understand me? So people from all over the world come to Nannyville.
No, Dana, I want to hear more about these prices, but before we delve more into it, we're gonna go for a very short break. Talk up, youth, Musefi.
Talk up, youth.
Talk up, youth, Musefi.
Talk up, youth.
Nice, we'll be right back.
Coming in with Protege and Savannah, and it's a Talk Up Radio show, the voice of the Jamaican youth, brought to you by the Digicel Foundation with support from the NCB Foundation. And of course, we have to acknowledge the National Baking Company for keeping the youth snacking right and cran water for cooling us down. We feel nice right now in the community of Nannyville, even though we're really focusing on the Mountain View communities. Chilling by Ravers Corner, nice little vibe. The youths them coming out, people looking what's happening. Shakira, how you feeling?
There, I feel cool. Once there's breeze, we're good.
All right.
Good.
Yeah, so in the previous segment, we spoke to Mama Peaches, a resident from the Nannyville community, and councillor from the Vineyard Town Division, Andrew Swaby. So I want to thank them for passing through and sharing with us some of the experiences and what it is like living in the Mountain View area. But now we have two important people, special people that have joined us, you know, for this segment, and I'm going to allow starting with the gentleman, even though it really should be ladies first. I'm going to go over to the lady and ask her to introduce herself and, you know, what she's about.
All right, Anisha Gordon from the Nannyville Uprising Youth Action Club.
All right, so welcome Anisha and the gentleman here.
Hi, I'm Chevion Morgan from Hampstead Park, and I represent the Hampstead Park Community Benevolent Society.
Nice. So we have two great community initiatives represented here today. So we're going to pick your brains a little bit. Based on our research, because we have to do research into the communities before we go. Based on our research, we found out that three of the major issues highlighted, and even Councillor Swaby spoke to it earlier, are unemployment, literacy, crime, and violence. I want to know, how do these issues directly affect our youth, based on your observation, starting with Mr. Morgan?
All right, so firstly, the major issue that we'd find is illiteracy, and then, you know, that transitions into unemployment and thus links to crime and violence. And I think it's a major issue in most inner city communities, as they classify some of the communities along Mountain View. Particularly my community, the level of unemployment it is high, and it is primarily based on, you know, how school is set, you know, students' behavioral issues, you know, they're not transitioning well into the school system, and thus, you know, they don't graduate or they don't come out with the required ingredients to transition into, you know, the work world. And it is a serious issue because when they don't have an employment or a source of income, you know, what is there to do?
Yeah.
And they lead now to crime and violence. But on a positive note, I must say, over the years, the trajectory has been trending downwards in terms of crime and violence in the Mountain View communities. And I must say, the youth participation, it needs to be, you know, needs a better improvement to kind of bring it further down. We're better than where we were before, but we're still not at the state where we can relax and say, yes, we're comfortable that the crime and violence is not a major threat to the development of our society.
So somebody, and that's good. So in terms of your community and what you just mentioned, talk to me about the youth group, and is there any initiative that you're currently working on? And when I say you, not you specifically, but, you know, any initiative that is being worked on to kind of address some of these things.
All right. There are initiatives. The most recent one is through the collaboration with Art NYS. There are a few programs that come into our community. The most recent one was the BPO. You know, there was a BPO program where persons were trained over a particular time, and then, you know, they transition into the BPO sector, the work world. There was also the YEDI program that is a part, our community facilitated a session where persons were trained over a 6 weeks period. And these programs, they're very important because they focus not necessarily on the most academic persons. It's for the unattached youths, and it just gives them the gateway to enter into the work world, because on a regular circumstances, them not having qualifications and experience, could not transition. So this is just a gateway or an avenue for them to say, all right, focus on the unattached youths and let's get them into our work world. So those are the programs that have been happening in my community.
Nice, lovely. And Anisha, you spoke to us a little, well, not spoke to us, but you introduced the group that you're from today. I want you to tell us a little bit about it and, you know, how have you guys been contributing to the community?
All right, Nannyville Uprising Reduction Club is for the youths, of course, where we're here to emphasize education, to get them to get involved, volunteer their services to help build the community. So we do a lot of volunteer programs here. We have the Nannyville Uprising Spelling Bee competition each year, the pageant. We also have seniors dinner also that we did once. Want to do it again, of course.
Yes.
We also do musical things, art and crafts that they'll come and get involved and not stay out, but come on and involve themselves so they can better themselves.
And how do you find that this helps the youth? How do you find, you know, what are some of the success stories that you've been getting from their participation?
Well, we have two young ladies that has branched off and do their own. Shanoya, she's now at Alpha Academy. She's now excelling. She passed through the Nannyville Frenzy competition. We have TC also, who is now at Wolmer's, finished and going to UE now.
Nice.
Yes, so we also have other youngsters who actually did well, passed their GSAT. I think we have Brittany. She passed the Immaculate or Andrews, one of the two.
Nice.
But she also excels. She's from the community, from the youth club, and they're all excelling.
I want to jump in because I hear you talking, and I know Anisha, naturally she's going to be a little modest because even Councillor Swaby had mentioned about the Nanny Bee competition, and it's something that is annual.
Yes.
And I actually had the privilege of participating this year as the announcer for the Spelling Bee competition. And trust me, I want just to take the opportunity to just big up Anisha, the Nannyville Uprising Youth Action Club, because nobody understands the magnitude. Trust me, you see, when you have summer to mobilize children to participate in educational activities during summer, that alone is difficult. And to pull so many young people, the children together, and it was well coordinated from, was it from grade 1?
Grade 1 to grade 6.
Grade 1 to grade 6, every level, and it was an entire day, and it showed really the grit and the determination of the children coming out, the spelling, the concentrating, they want to get it right, and even the fact that this event attracted corporate sponsorship.
Yes, we did.
So
Ukraine March of Jamaica sponsored us.
Right.
We also have Ready TV sponsoring us this year. The community personnel like Andrea Food Shop, the grocery stop right here, Winji. So we few people from the area who also donate monetary to us.
Yes,
that's excellent.
And I must big up my team, Sasha Gay Godfrey, not here with us, Bianca Fagan, Peter Gay Allen, and Fenella Hay.
Right.
And I know you said too that, you know, a lot of the persons in the community helped out. I want to get from you, Chevy, and both of you can answer, what are some of the things that you love about this community?
Well, he's not, well, from your community. Talk about your community.
All right. One of the things that I love most about my community is the drive for persons to excel and go beyond, you know, their standard of living, their current situation. So you know you're in a space and the elements around you are pressuring you to, you know, remain in that space. And what I find in my community is that a lot of persons want to go beyond what they come and see. So you know you're from here, but the reputation that some of the communities along Mountain View, and in particular my community, would have had in past years, you know, persons are saying, all right, we are not from here. Because when I go out and I tell persons like, I'm from Hampstead Park, well, we rename it, no, we're focusing on the positive name because we were once known as Backbush. So when you go out and you tell persons that you're from Backbush, you know, there's a stigma that is attached to you.
Right.
And the persons in our communities are not living up to that. We are going beyond what they would have known to be Backbush and now showing them like, listen, we are from here, but the space is not we. We are going to go beyond that and show you that we can excel. And that is the greatest aspect of my community. The persons there, they go beyond.
Yeah, that's deep. Talk of you, Mr. P. Talk of you. We need that's rinsing right there, because guess what? That's one of the most critical elements of positive change, when you recognize that a label hold you back and you're transforming that. So I really have to commend you and your community for recognizing that.
Well, I must pick up Nannyville because we're not known for crime and violence, and so up here is great. But the persons in the community help us a lot. Once you go to them, say you want to do this, whichever way they can support you, they'll support you. They'll find a way to get persons on board to work with you. Big up Samantha Harvey, who, the JP, who is like the backbone. Everything, once you go to her, she'll rope in everybody and we'll come together. Ding Dong Ravers, everybody.
Yes, and no matter Ravers, we have to big up the Ravers for allowing us to use this space. And Andrew Sticky, if he's around here, big up Sticky, we help to make sure that we have the space to use. So definitely, you know, I am feeling and living in this community for over 5 years now, I can attest to what you're just saying about the community spirit and people pulling together. My neighbors down there, if I'm at work and it's raining, people taking off my clothes off a line to protect, you know, to look out for me. And a lot of communities, whether that we maybe they don't have a reputation, you don't have that sort of relationship. So people underwrite communities based on perception and them not understand. So listen, you know, it's a loving environment. In the intimate setting, the community spirit is active and present and is a positive force that's going through the communities across Mountain View. So if you don't know it, you can't knock it.
Yeah. Nice. And on that note, we want to thank you guys so much for joining us. It was really a pleasure to have you here. Talk up youth, talk up youth, talk up youth. We can't knock how much we have been, you know, experiencing the greatness of each community. So we're going to go for a break now. We'll soon come back. Welcome back to the Talk Up Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth. And this morning we're coming to you live from Mountain View, our third stop in our Talk Up Youth Outreach Project. And we're having loads of fun. I want to thank Digicel Foundation with the support from NCB Foundation for sponsoring us this morning, as well as the National Baking Company and Water and Cran Water. We're going to jump right into it now because, you know, we talk about the history, the present state, so we'll have to jump into what our vision is for the community. We're going to start with you, lovely lady on my right. What's your name, please, and where you joining us from?
Felina. I'm from McGregor Gardens in Vineyard Town.
Nice.
My name is Fenella Hay. I'm from Nannyville Gardens.
So, all right, good. So we're going to jump right into it. What is your vision for the community? Where would you like to see it reach?
From McGregor Gardens.
Well, my vision for McGregor is empowerment. The youth them today, of today is like, you know, them kind of downhearted. Sometimes you ask them the question and you wonder why our problem. So, you know, for uplift them, to give them a little more empowerment for see the future, so future bright with education mainly. You know, that are my vision for them get up and go out there and try to empower themselves.
Based on, because I'm looking at you, so the listeners don't know, but your expression and how you come across the vision, you're a mobilizer for the young people in your community, right?
Yes.
So what are you doing that you would say to help the youth them get to that place that you're speaking about?
All right. Most time I interact with people outside. So when I ask question out there and ask if they're in work or anything that people can get, the youth them can get to bit. So normally now we would just go out there, ask for work, come back in and say, oh, you did ask us about something, you have time to do this or time to do that. And them say, yeah, they want to work. And I say, all right, go check that person there, give them the person phone numbers. You understand? So that's one of the things that I mobilize the youth them with, work mainly.
Right.
And school also.
Trust me, I can't know them. You don't know them people in the community that trust me, you are like, I don't know if I can say community hero, but people like you play a very important role in the community because trust me, even though we talk about youth empowerment, we have some of the young people, if they really rally back and say, look here, go out, go do something, or here is something.
Them not moving.
You know, and everybody take the initiative. So we really are happy that we have people like you in your community playing that active role and say, look here, you're not lie back and say the youth them don't want nothing. You recognize, say, you know, sometimes you just really have to just come and just push the opportunity and press them to really take it.
All right, so coming to you now, Felina, what's your vision?
Well, my vision...
Fenella.
Yes, it's Fenella. Well, my vision is to make the communities be the difference that Jamaica needs to see. Whereas they basically look towards more positivity than negativity. Look against violence, because you realize most youths are more into community... What the word I will use now?
Outreach?
Yeah, more outreach programs. One, Because most youth are more prone to negativity than positivity. So, one, instead of them looking to violence, they look into things that benefit them, the community as a whole, but not their self. Because most people are selfish, if you know that.
Right.
So, if it's nothing that is benefit them individually, well, so we're trying to move that where people don't look at it at that point of view, but look at it and say, listen, if it benefits the community, it eventually benefits you.
That
So
is
that's
so
what
deep.
we're trying to go to.
That is so deep, and from a young person to identify something like that, that shows a lot of insight, and trust me, that is really good, because when you're talking about community spirit, that's togetherness right there. So I really feel like that's deep. But I want to stay with you for a while, because as I said before, living in Nannyville, some people they think that, oh, I'm born and raised in Nannyville, they treat me a little differently, or there's a different reaction. For you as a young person growing up in this community, have you ever experienced that before?
Rephrase the question, as in if you're...
Yeah, some people treat it, like when they hear about Nannyville, they have a local reputation, or it had a reputation.
Outside of the community.
Right.
Outside of the community.
Right.
Well, that's true, because sometimes when I go outside and some people are not familiar with the community and I say I come from Nannyville, oh, it's a body area, and I'm like, okay then. Well, I was born here at this location, and I didn't experience that type of negativity that they are spreading, or that stigma.
Yes.
Right.
So I understand that fact for true, but I did not experience it.
And we also realized that you are also from the Nannyville Uprising Youth Action Club. If you had an opportunity right now, because your residents and your community members are listening, what, if anything, is the more support that you need from the residents of the community?
Well, in previous events that we keep, a lot of people, as I was saying, they're not willing to assist because they don't think assisting us is beneficial to them. And we really want people to come out and be more active and don't look upon it as a, oh, if you're not paying me, I won't do it.
Right. All right, so putting out a call to the residents of Nannyville, and we need more community support. So it's a good start, but we need more support. So Felina, for McGregor Gardens, what support do you need from the citizens of Jamaica and the government?
The community that I live in need a lot of assistance. Only, so it's hard to explain now. So you have to come and see it for yourself.
You have to come. So maybe we need to have a session down there.
Because we have a community center there. We need to utilize the space more. Because I enroll into a school, I go evening class, and that's one of the things that motivate me to come back in my community to try to empower these youth to go out there and get something for themselves. Because before then I couldn't even talk like this, I wouldn't like nervous or such, but you know, trying to get a better education to push out there. But as what I'm saying, you have to come and see
for yourself
because there's a lot to be done. And the councillor and the MP try, but you know, still.
Them alone can't do it.
No.
And that's what we need to understand as residents.
Yes.
That them alone.
Yes.
Government, it can't leave up to the government alone.
Right. So, you know.
Right. So one final thing I want to ask before we go to the break. Do you think it's important for young people around the country, regardless of the organization, we just talk about political affiliation, to connect with each other to develop their community? So it really mean like young people within your own community, because you realize what we're doing right now. How important do you think that is for young people to connect with each other? Fenella?
Well, I think that's very important, because if everybody come together and try to work towards the same goal, because I think each community is trying to work towards the same goal, and if everybody come as one, then you'll see a major difference to island-wide, not just one location in Jamaica.
Right. You have anything to add, Felina?
Well, she said it all.
All right. Fenella and Felina, I want to thank you so much for passing through. Felina from McGregor Gardens and Fenella from Nannyville, the community of Nannyville. Two persons who have a vision for their community, and they're working hard to make sure that that becomes a reality. So on that note, we're going to throw to a break. This is Talk Up Radio, Voice of the Jamaican Youth. So welcome back to the Talk Up Radio Show, Voice of the Jamaican Youth, brought to you by NCB Foundation, the Digicel Foundation, and we always have to pick up the National Baking Company. I don't know how to think about food, Snacky Right, and Cran Water. And this is the Talk Up Youth Community Outreach Project, the third stop. And with their cool Ravers Corner. I feel like a bit hype, because you know. in Ravers Corner, and we've been speaking to some very good people right now. It's all about community, showcasing the issues in the community, what's happening, how the youth feel, and of course we're always about solutions. So it's not just about exploring issues, right, Shakira? We're talking
about solutions and vision and all of those lovely things. We're learning. So I'm gonna allow our two lovely guests before us to introduce themselves, and then we're gonna go proceed to find out the work that you do within this community. So starting with my left.
Hi, I'm Shanice Salmon, Director of International Service at the New Kingston Rotary Club.
Oh, Lord. Hi, I'm Vanessa Williams, President of the Rotary Club of New Kingston.
Nice.
All right.
Welcome.
Welcome. So Vanessa, what is it that the Rotary Club of New Kingston is doing in Nannyville?
Today?
Well, today, I understand that you have had some ongoing initiatives. So basically, I want you to speak to us about that.
Okay. So we have been in Nannyville for a while now. I'd say about 6 to 7 years we've been working in Nannyville.
It's a long time.
Yes, very long time. It began with a breakfast program at the Nannyville Early Childhood Institution. That's right behind us right there. And what we would do is each Wednesday morning we come down and we prepare breakfast for the children, because it was realized a number of children are coming to school without breakfast. So we'd come in simple breakfast, porridge, sandwiches, some fried plantain, some fried egg, our Jamaican breakfast, right? So we get sponsorship and we come and we do that. And then went on a drive to get the school registered. So we did some sorts of infrastructural development, simple things like a fire extinguisher, exit signs, getting water regulated, those simple things, getting staff on board to get them to that level. So we're still on that drive now to get them to the final leg of being registered as an early childhood institution. Further to that, we also have back-to-school medicals. We provide the children with free back-to-school checkups. So, each school requires kids to come in and to be on point medically, and that's a cost for parents every year. What we do, we step in and we relieve them of that cost. So we provide back-to-school checkup, eye screening, dental, and we also add simple things, for example, road safety procedures. So we involve the road safety council to come in and they do their little exhibition thing. We have nutritionists who come in and hygienists who show them how to take care of their teeth, how often to brush and all of that happening. And we also have our lifestyle symposium, which focuses on lifestyle and wellness. So we focus on mental health, how you balance your mental health, how do you balance your diet. So we have persons who come in and tell them about nutrition. We give them HIV tests, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, workout sessions. So we get them in them tights and them sneakers, and the yoga sessions as well. And that has been going on for 3 years now. So our next staging of that will be December 1 on World AIDS Day, just in the car park on top. And for today, what we're having today is our annual literacy and numeracy competition. So this started about 4 years ago, and it was just with Nannyville, and it was only a reading competition. And then about last year, we expanded it to the other communities. So we have Top Range, we have Hampstead Park, we have McGregor Gardens, we have Jakes Road, and Nannyville. And we have added numeracy as well. So that we have an age range of 6 to 18 years, and they come. We have the launch and qualifiers. The little simple thing, you read a passage, answer some questions, you're ranked, and then you go on to the finals where we give you books. So each year now what we do, we set the book in a particular area. So 1 year we had where it was just local authors, then we had international authors. This year we kind of have a mix. So the books look at issues such as climate change and looking at dealing with your adolescent changes, as in your whole development as we call it puberty, right? And we also have one of the books that look at how children deal with living away from their families. So we know in areas such as this, we have a lot of persons that we would say are barrel families.
Barrel children,
right, where the parents go away and you live with your relatives. And so we thought that book was very applicable for this grouping. So that's one of the books that we're looking at this year again. So today is our launch and qualifiers. Our kids are over there, some are on their way. And we're just looking forward to a great day in the community of Nannyville. It's always a good time being here.
I'm in awe. Like, I'm literally in awe. You guys have literally been doing a lot of important work because, you know, we can highlight that some of the skills that persons would think that, you know, are not important for our kids to learn. You are actually investing in them and teaching them. I want to hear from you.
Yes.
Shanice.
What is one of your, if you had to pick out an experience, you know, over the period of working with, you know, the kids in this community, what would be your ideal experience?
My ideal experience, well, I can speak the last year.
Yes.
When we added the numeracy aspect to the competition, just to see the excitement, like, oh, we can do maths too, we can do maths too. Along with the English, you could just see the joy. And that just made me so happy. So that's why we're continuing the literacy and numeracy this year.
Right. I'm still spellbound by the magnitude of work, the volume of work that you've been doing in this community. And I'm just thinking, like, if we're doing the Talk Up Youth community outreach again, we have to partner with New Kingston Rotaract, because you not only just mentioned about working with Nannyville, you worked with several communities along Mountain View. So I want to ask, what sparked the decision to identify this area to do your work, the community service outreach?
Well, I'm not sure initially what was the introduction of the club to this community, but I know going forward it was interacting with the community members. So for example, when we had the project at the school, and just talking to the children, I realized that some of them, they were timid, but they were not what we call slow learners or dunce children, just needed that little boost. And so we were thinking, what can we get to bring them that level of expression and, you know, conviction in their knowledge. I know that I can read, I can express myself. And that's how we came up with the reading competition. But then we realized that there are some children who are not readers. As much as we all would like them to read, some persons are just not geared in that way. They're numerical. And we thought to balance it. And that was the balance we brought in. But then we look at the broader picture. We're saying we're building Nannyville, but they're going to school with other children of neighboring communities. They have friends, they're interacting with them. So why not help them as well? And that was the expansion, because as you know, Dinalyn, we're trying to have that impact. Not just on a little grouping, but we have that solid, expanded impact. And that's what we are aiming for at the Rotaract Club of New Kingston.
I'm amazed.
I'm not surprised because I'm a Rotaractor myself, but it's just that regardless of being from a different club, you know, it's still, you still have to acknowledge the work that has been done and the admiration. And when you spoke about working with the different communities, you're still, you know, as Rotaract, it's youth arm a Rotary, so you're young people. And even though you're in the community, speak to me about the collaboration, because there are youth groups within the communities as well. So is there any ongoing collaboration going on or plans for that?
Yes, man. Whenever we come into the communities, we have to liaise with the persons who are on the ground. Because as you know, we all work. So we have a 9 to 5. We can't come here and say, rap with them a certain way, as much as we would love to. But the persons in the community, each community has a youth arm, whether it's a youth group or the police youth arm, and so we link with those. So even to get the information from us to them, those are the persons we work with. So for each community, we have at least 2 to 3 persons who we work with in that regard. And they're the persons who mobilize the work on the ground to get the turnout for the events.
Right. Shanice, thank you, Vanessa. Shanice, how long have you been working through Rotaract, working in the community?
Well, working with New Kingston Rotaract Club, I've been here for a year now. And can I tell you, it's been the best year of my life.
Why?
Just to see the impact that we have with communities and just the bond that we have with children that we've been in contact with. It's second to none.
Right. Within the year, can you identify where you've seen any aspect of improvement through the program from you know, any improvement within the community? What change have you noticed?
The changes I've seen, I can speak to last year specifically. Those children that enter the competition, they're back here again this year, and they brought friends along. So you can just see that the excitement that they have. Exactly.
All right. So before we go, but thank you so much, ladies. But before we go, can you tell us again what's happening today and what time? So for persons listening in, they might want to pass through.
Certainly. So today we're having our literacy and numeracy competition launch and qualifiers, and it's happening now, and we go on until 3 o'clock.
All right.
And it's at
2
the
o'clock.
Nannyville Community Center.
All right, so if you're listening, you want to pass through the Nannyville Community Center, the literacy and numeracy competition.
Tell them all to come.
All right, so just come through.
6 to 18, just run through.
Everybody, right? So thank you so much, New Kingston Rotaract, so Vanessa Williams, President, and Shanice Salmon, who is the Director of International Service. We love to see the energy and the vibrance from the young people developing communities. It's
right, and we also want to thank you for the great work that you and the Rotaract family have been doing in this community. We're gonna shoot to a break now, but up next we're gonna be interviewing the Digicel Foundation grant recipient, Rock Spring Farms. Okay, so when we come back from the break, that's what you'll be listening to. Talk Up Youth, Masefi.
Talk Up Youth.
Nice. Welcome back to the Talk Up Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth. You are listening to Shakira, and I'm joined by
the one and only first time, the missing people.
Right, and we have to also big up again the Digicel Foundation and NCB Foundation, Cranwater and Water, as we're here live on our third stop of our Talk Up Youth Community Outreach Project in Mountain View. Cool, Ravers Corner. So we're joined right now by our Digicel Foundation scholarship recipient from Rock Spring Farms.
Congratulations, sir.
Mayor, congratulations.
Thank
And
you.
we also have to say that the Digicel Foundation has been in operation since 2004. Since then, they have funded projects that empower communities, and they have completed over 762 successful projects. So, Mr. Mayor, tell us a little bit about Rock Spring Farms.
It's primarily a pig farm, and we start with some goat and some sheep, and we have a couple cows. And we start with some cash crop, and we also have bananas and plantains.
So why is Rock Spring Farms important?
Well, I mean, our food have to be important.
Yes.
So, Mr. You tell us that people have to eat, so the farm important. Now, I want you to tell us how the youth are involved in the Rock Spring Farms.
Well, we started out the farm roughly over 10 years ago.
Yes.
But for the last 3.5 years, we just take it over and I deal with it. We link up with Dr. Kadamawi Knife with the Youth Crime Watch and Alan Bernard. So them, after talking to them, them tell us, so for us deal with the youth, them cause of the future and them hold with to that. So we really take on to that and start bringing the youth them and try teach them how to do the farming, animal husbandry, and
all of those nice
the cash crop thing.
Okay, and I want to find out from you, because you had mentioned to us earlier that it's in Rockfort. What impact has the project had on the youth that are involved?
Well, it hard to tell you the impact right now because the youth them stubborn. Talking to them and getting them off of the corner is good, but to persuade them to stay, it actually harder than the work. But we see some of them come and some of them go, and still the one them will leave, we still go back and try and get them and bring them back, and some of them will catch on. So hopefully them will stay, because we are trying to make them know, so because you come from Kingston, you can't be a farmer.
Right.
We also have some bees, so we want to teach them how to do the apiary thing. And what we do when we pick them up and we convince them to come, what we do, we let them go up on the farm and make each of them gravitate to where them really like. So if someone interested in the bees, we try to draw him to that. If I'm interested in the pigs, goat, sheep, whatever, we just make them stay there. So. But overall, we want them to do everything.
That's your vision.
Yeah, we don't only want them can deal with the animal. We don't like them do the bees, because the only thing is a good thing. And the more beekeeping you have for the youth, them, and them can be independent and become their own boss. So we just want to teach them that.
That's a good strategy, excellent strategy. So what about the community though? What impact has it had on the community itself?
Well, the community not really interested in it, but we are trying to force it upon them to be interested, to change them. So hopefully, probably the next interview we can tell you more about how it has changed it. Some like most of them come, but them not have the interest in the farming. Some of them don't want more the construction, some of them want to work in the flour mills, because we are across from the flour mills and we are behind the rubies, and everybody can work in the industries where they're there.
Yes.
And you know the education level already, so we are tell them say try farming.
Yes.
Give farming a try, you can't lose.
That is true.
So
That's true.
in receiving this grant from Digicel Foundation, they would now play a big part in the Rock Springs farm. Now I want you to tell us and our listeners what support, except from the grant that you have received from the Digicel Foundation, how them support, as Rock Spring Farms.
Well, them just really the grant them really do for far, but Digicel, the thing just tremendous with them. Them coming at the right time, and the donation, the grant was just the best. It helped we far, really, really far, because it give we have up to 1,000 gallon of storage of water. Them give us a 40-foot freezing capacity, so that is really good. They give us water pumps.
Wow.
Them really help we out a lot. Yeah, man. Them really enough people don't really understand what Digicel do, but Digicel bigger than what people think.
That is
because
true.
for Digicel just pick up because we are trying to help the youth them to do that and give we that opportunity there for push it further. Digicel, them really go all above and beyond, to tell you the truth, and we appreciate that.
Now, you speak about an opportunity, and we know that getting involved in a program like this gives youth an opportunity to do something productive and to create some level of sustenance and substance for themselves. Now, I want you to tell our young people listening why they need to come and volunteer and get involved with you and the Rock Spring Farms.
Well, you have to come, you need to get involved, because if you don't have an education, where you go do? Well, you pass them on the corner, the whole of Jamaica, and I will say, them have a spliff in their mouth, and especially in their hand, and them a try rub out another spliff. I mean, where that go? If we not show them a better way, them a go try broken at somebody else. Then them up on the corner, them have access to follow people with the gun thing, and that we don't want them to do. So we try to keep them off of the street to give them a different mindset. That's why when them come and them stay for a week and them leave, sometimes we walk and look for them and tell them to come back. Because we don't need the mind for straight to that way. We need it to stay in a progressive way, and I think we can't give up on them.
That is true.
Because Digicel never give up on we. Digicel say, oh, one thing, and them say it's a good thing for getting involved with. So just by Digicel honoring we and give we a grant for push it further, we don't want to let them down. Period. So we're really do our best to keep them, and we not stop try to keep them. What we're going to try to do now, we're going to try to move to more of the females them now, because I'm mostly male and one female, so we're going to try to get more females involved in it and make them know say farming good too.
Boy, Mr. Moore, I love your passion and your enthusiasm. Thank you so much for joining us, and we have to shout a huge thank you again to the Digicel Foundation, because you're really, really helping for community initiatives such as this to prosper and progress within our nation. On that note, we are going for a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Talk Up Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth. You're joining us from Mountain View, very, very live. And this is our third stop in our Talk Up Youth community outreach program. So you know, when you just listen to Digicel Foundation, we have to go next to the NCB Foundation.
For the money there.
So NCB Foundation was formalized in 2003 as a philanthropic arm of the country's largest homegrown bank, the National Commercial Bank. NCB gladly accepts its role and responsibility as a corporate citizen to provide opportunities that will chart the course for future generations. Nice. Thank you so much, NCB. We're joined by two lovely youth. I'm going to allow them to tell us their names, starting with the gentleman.
Tyreek Anderson.
Tyreek Anderson and
Patrinia Williams.
All right, lovely.
My one and only big friend.
So I want to hear from you now. You guys are... Why is budgeting important, or what is budgeting? Let's start there. Petrina.
Well, budgeting is basically creating a plan to spend your money, or basically balancing your income with your expenses.
And budgeting is important because it helps to figure out long-term goals. It ensures you don't spend money that you don't have, and it even helps to prepare for emergencies.
Nice, and prepare for emergencies. I see Tristan like him gearing up to ask a question.
Yeah, because some emergencies are come. No, but I want to find out, right? I earn $5,000 for the week. How does budgeting help me, and why do so many people choose not to budget? So it is, how does budgeting help me secure my future, and why so many people choose not to budget?
All right, in terms of securing your future with budgeting, budgeting is very important because we always have some long-term goals, whether mandatory or voluntary, that we need to meet. Sometimes it be education, owning a home, buying a car, a big party that's coming up that's very expensive that you want to be a part of. And I mean, let us not go around it. Entertainment is just as important as all the other things that come.
like her.
And so with budgeting, what it does, it basically helps you to plan. So you want to know how much money you're going to spend this month, how much money you need to save for that future event that you need to do. If you need to take out a loan, probably for your education, for that car, budgeting allows you to pay back the people them loan on time so the interest not grow up. And at the same time, cover your monthly expenses and save, which is an important part of it. In terms of securing your future, when you're budgeting, you might realize that, okay, what you want to do with your money might be more than what your income is, and so it allows you now to seek out investment opportunities. And of course with NCB we have the capital market investment opportunities, or just finding alternative source of income. So now a lot of people are doing a little hustling, as we call it. And so in terms of securing your future, it helps you to plan and save.
But with all of those lovely attributes, Tariq, why do so many people choose not to budget?
One of two things. Some persons cannot stick to their budget, and some persons don't have a source of income. And with no source of income, there is nothing to budget, right?
But how can we then make it simpler and easier
to budget?
Yes.
To make it simple and easier, we can, what we would say, I remember a term my grandmother would always use to me, practice delayed gratification. So things that you think you need, you would not budget for these things. You would prioritize things that you need.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want
and basically budgeting it's very easy. I mean, it's difficult because of how people go about it, but to budget you have to set simple things and make it as realistic as possible. And for a lot of people, one of the things why people go over their budget is because there are some little things that you do where you just can't give up, where people might not think necessary but you just want to do it. And so what budgeting does, it allows you to control those things. So if you're a party person, you decide, okay, this month I'm going to spend $10,000 on a party. You like buy hair products? This month I'm going to spend $5,000 on buying those hair products. So you put those things that you think are people would consider to be your wants into the budget, so that you plan for them and you can manage those things. So instead of just, you run because it's on hair products and you just scrape up all of them, you can say, okay, this month I'm going to buy 5 products, next month I'll buy the next 2 that I need. And so you manage those things, and that's what a lot of people don't do. So them just spend. So in my budget, I put in miscellaneous expenses. Miscellaneous is anything when we go to the road and see, I never plan for, I'm a buy it. And a lot of people don't do those things. They're very rigid with their budget, and when you do that, it's hard to stick to it. So give yourself some room. Okay, so put in those miscellaneous expenses, put in those party expenses, those hair, those clothes, those nails that you want to do, and so you're better able to manage it. And that is what a lot of people don't do. So make it realistic, make it simple, and you'll see it work.
Practical.
Yeah.
And so what are some additional skills besides the discipline? What are some more skills that you can learn from budgeting, from practicing the art of it?
All right. So one things we can do is teach money management. We can even find other alternatives. One of the things we as Jamaican would use is hustling, right? So we would juggle a little thing out the road and come in with our money, and then we budget it, right? And then also we can, she even earlier mentioned investment opportunities.
Right, so basically when you start saving, when you start budgeting and you now start saving money, after a while you're going to have that inclination to want your money to earn for you, some passive source of income. And so budgeting, when you start saving through budgeting, you now want to start seeking out alternative source of investment, and so now you take up this investing thing, you try to research about it, learn some investment skills so that it can earn you some money. So that is a skill that you can get from budgeting. And even advising people, you'd be surprised how many persons do finance, advise people on financing or investment opportunities as a side job just because of their personal experience.
Right. And are you both recipients of any awards given by the NCB Foundation?
Yes, I am the 2016 Gold Icon Scholar.
Gold Icon Scholar. What does that mean, sir?
Gold.
Innovative, nationalistic, original, and innovative.
Wow. And how did that help you at that point in your life, if you remember?
That is quite a long story. Well, this scholarship allowed me to start university. First family member to even reach university.
Wow,
stage.
that's good. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so thank you so much, Trina and Tyreek, for joining us in this NCB Foundation sponsored minute. Yes, we are glad to have you, and we learned a lot just now. You know, discipline is important, budgeting is important, and budget for those things that you want, you need, and the things that you think you might want. Thank you so much, guys. I have a budget, don't it? Thank you so much. We are going for another break on the Talk Up Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth, at our third stop in the Talk Up Youth Community Outreach Program. We will be right back.
So we're back for real this time, and this is Talk Up Radio Show, voice of the Jamaican youth, the Talk Up Youth Outreach Community Project, and
Number
it takes
3.
us to, yes, it's the third stage in our third stop, and this is the dance capital of the world. I'm not going to say Jamaica right now, the world, and Tristan Ravers.
Yeah.
He wants to be a Ravers, not a real Ravers.
Exactly,
So how are they at the real Ravers Corner? So, but them know. And it's really been an amazing morning. As I said before, we had spoken to so many young people, youth leaders, community mobilizers, and community leaders, and we're very encouraged by what is happening, the activities that are taking place in the community, not just in Nannyville, because this is really for the communities of Mountain View. We had, I have to mention something that Chevion Morgan from Hampstead Park. Let me get garden, and Nannyville Garden. Hampstead Park, when he was saying that, a lot about changing the name of the community to really drive that positive mindset and outlook. That is very powerful, It is. And when we had, was it Fenella from Nannyville, who said that we want to do things in the community that is community based and taking away from the individual side, and get people to understand that when you focus on your community and build a community, it comes back to you, your benefit. And enough of we don't think like that. We think about ourselves like, Tristan, come help me with that thing. What you get out of it? Me have to get out, me have to get paid. So all of that. But enough said about what happened this morning. We have a very special guest, a beautiful girl that is sitting in front of us right now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Or should I say good afternoon? I'm so sorry. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And what's your name?
Michaela Brown.
Michaela. And you're from which community?
Nannyville.
You're from Nannyville.
You sound bright. Tell us what school you are coming from or where you'll be going.
I'll be going to St. Andrew High School for girls.
She said,
not true. So you took GSAT. You're the last of the GSAT generation. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm also hearing too, Michaela, that you're the spelling bee champ for Nannyville. Is that true?
Yes.
Congratulations.
So excited. Congrats.
She's so modest.
Right.
She's so modest. Right.
So how was that experience for you, and what is the major impact that the competition had on you?
It was great, and it helped me to build my vocabulary and know new people in my community.
All right. So tell me, growing up in Nannyville, tell me something that you love about your community. Your favorite thing about your community. Or something nice.
I know the vibes.
The vibes. So you're a dancer too?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. So I know you're going to start high school now. What's one thing that you're looking forward to going in high school?
The work, I guess.
You're looking forward to the work?
Yes.
Wow. You see why she's a spelling bee champion though? Wow.
Right. Are you involved in any other thing outside of the spelling bee competition? Do you do anything else in the community?
No.
Right. So are you giving any thought to that though? Not yet. You might, because I see that you're a promising young woman. So, we had some people, I'm sure that you're familiar with them, who organize the spelling bee competition through which you won. So I know maybe you're young now, but as they grow older, you want to be a part and join with them, because I'm pretty sure that they'll be able to help you, right?
Yes.
Right. So what are some of the things that you do in your community? What do you do with your friends?
I don't really have any friends in the community.
Your friends, your friends are outside the community? All right, so if you could think about one thing that you want to make your community better, what is that?
I don't really know.
You're not sure yet. You're just focusing on going to St. Andrew. You're just looking forward to high school. All right, Michaela. But thank you very much for talking with us, and we want to wish you the very best for your high school experience. And of course, I hope that this time you made the opportunity to meet new friends, not just at school but in your community. And we're looking forward to bigger and better things from you.
Thank you.
Because you're an ambassador for the community youth group now through your win. All right.
Thank you.
All right, do take care.
Thank you. Yes, it has been a privilege to be here today, and we want to thank the members of this community, not just Nannyville but Mountain View at large, everybody, for having us today. We learned a lot about your community, and we could not have asked for a better stop today. Thank you for being, filled with community spirit, and for just, being. All right.
Well, I don't know about you, Shakira and Dana, but me, I gotta check out this Rock Spring Farm thing, because food now, agriculture for make, because food I feel.
Eat.
Yeah.
It's all about that. It's all about that. It's such a good vibe.
I'm joining in here. It's Andrika again, and I've just been sitting back and observing how the community works, how you have the little shops, and everybody just kind of assisting, and it's just a nice, cool day, going about your business, who is selling, and everybody passing and just coming over. And I really like the synergy that the community has, and not everywhere you go and see this kind of synergy. Like I tell you,
community.
When I said earlier that I want to move, I was actually being serious, because just getting the opportunity to come here and see it, and it's nice and clean, and everybody looking out for each other, I like it. But what I wanted you guys, just give me an idea, or give our listeners an idea. What are some of the things that you learned that they would kind of want to change? The community nice and clean, but there's always room for improvement. So what are some things you think they can improve in this community today? Dana, I mean, you've been here a little bit.
I mean, some of the interviewers, they spoke about it this morning, and it's about just increased youth participation. So even though we had the spelling bee and all the activities that are going on, you still have some young people, you still have people who are not involved, and so you just want to improve on that. The community, everything is improvement, because it's not that the community doesn't give support, but greater support to have residents come out more and engage with whatever it is that is happening. That will make a difference. I mean, it's going good, but that's there's room for improvement. So that's just my thing.
And I think one of the other things that stood out for me too was, as we've been seeing over the stops, the unemployment, as Felina would have highlighted, job opportunities for the youth is always important, training opportunities. So just that was my initial observation. But separate apart from that, boy, greatness in this community.
Tristan, what were you observing?
Well, for me, to be honest, it was lack of employment as well. But based on the interviews, we have so much bright and sick and brilliant and talented young people, and people who come who are volunteer time and service. For me, it's for them to just come together and come up with some amazing entrepreneurship and business idea and just shell down the place and shell down the country. Like how me shell down with my Tristan Ravers dance.
Yeah, I forgot post the dance after.
But I really like that, and I like that you guys are able to get that information out of everything that we have here today. And just where we're sitting is somewhere positive, because to know that you have a group of people in this community, from this community, that are trying to implement change, positivity. I mean, I observed Ding Dong and his team, and they always have a young person that they're bringing in. Cool, I think, is 18 years old. Silent is 18, and a few other of the Ravers, they're actually below the age of 20. And the last time I would have heard him do an interview, he made sure to say that he always reaches out. If you have a talent, you're not gonna know. The group is never too big, and I like that. And also with that, I like that there's a community center here, because it then means, and I want to send lots of love to Samantha. Samantha
Harvey. Big up Samantha Harvey.
Yeah, to the community, she's known as Mumsy. And I observe how she works with everybody. The respect is always there, but she's still friendly, and
to know that the community center is a part of it, and it's kind of like they're doing things for the youth.
Right.
That also is great, and I must commend them for that, because not a lot of communities, especially inner city, have that one. And if you know, me come to the basketball field, and I'm hearing that events are held for the youth, things are happening. So I really like that. And of course, we're going to be here afterwards to hear some other things that we can improve. I'm really grateful to the council for stopping by, although I didn't cause some feel like
my uncle. No, regardless. Remember, he has been the council from
I know.
So from before me, I have nothing to do.
And I appreciated the fact that Councillor Swaby came by and he kind of listened and gave his 2 cents. So again, it's always about the future. We spoke to a little girl just now, and she's a spelling bee champion, and I was totally psyched when I heard that. I'm like, whoa, that's a whole big deal. And for her, just for her to be here, oh my God. just for her to be here and to know that she's from this community, and she's, she is the face of positivity right now. You know, she's going to St. Andrew. But again, of course, it's the Talk Up Your Community Outreach Project, and predominantly on Talk Up Radio Show, because we do this the last Saturday of every month. We have done 2 thus far. We would have been in Almontown and Parade Gardens, and today, of course, we're at the Ravers Corner. We really want you to know that coming September 29, we're going to be in Tivoli Gardens. And it's going to be just as fabulous, just as great one. Next nice corner, again, have like a breeze.
Yes.
I like the breeze.
The breeze are the best thing.
Right, and it's so funny because Talk Up Youth has done a lot of work in Tivoli, so it's going to be so awesome to go back in there and hear all the stories and see what is coming out of it. It's been a great and awesome day. We thank all the interviews, we thank all the youth groups, the Rotary Club that was here, the Digicel Foundation and NCB Foundation scholars, all the other persons that we got to interview, Miss Peach, what's her name, Miss Peaches?
Mama Peaches.
Sorry, Mama Peaches, big up. And we thank everybody. We thank Nationwide, of course, Mama Ian. We always thank the NCB Foundation, the Digicel Foundation, Wisynco, and National. We are grateful. And of course, it was a Talk Up Radio Show on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm going to make a little bit of music, play a little bit, so I can't hear little chops of music. And I'm inviting everybody else in the community to come over for the rest of today's proceedings, just to kind of hear what is happening, hear what I like about the community. And maybe we can come back one next year, come, play a little domino. We don't know. It was the Talk Up Radio Show on Nationwide 90 FM, the voice of the Jamaican youth, and the voice today of Ravers Corner in Mountain View.
You're welcome.
Tristan, go on a dance.
Ready.
Anyway, Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie.
Talk Up Youth.
Catch you next week.